He got involved with almost every girl at school. Yet everyone was convinced he'd settled down once he turned 18. Everyone but me. After all, I'd seen him break my sister's heart and caught him with other girls. What I didn't expect was that he'd suddenly invite me to his birthday party, the day everyone swore would change his ways. "What's your name?" Logan Pierce's gravelly voice snapped me out of my thoughts. For a second, I just stared. Is he for real? I'd lived in the same town as this guy forever. We went to the same middle school, the same high school, sat near each other for years, even did assignments together sophomore year. He flirted with me yesterday, and now he was acting like he didn't know who I was. I broke eye contact, shoved my books into my bag, slammed my locker shut, and muttered "jerk" under my breath as I turned to leave. He grabbed my wrist and spun me back around. "Okay, I'm really sorry for not remembering your name and not calling you," he said quickly, like he'd been practicing. "But I swear, give me your number again and I'll call you. I will." His voice had that desperate edge, and his eyes were doing that pleading thing girls always fall for. His lips were set in an adorable pout, probably a move he used daily. "What?" I blinked, completely lost. He scratched the back of his neck, laughing nervously. "I spent time with you and didn't call the next day. That's why you're mad, right?" "Right. Wait, what?" The nerve of this man-child. "I never did anything like that with you, Logan," I shot back. "And I'm never going to. So let go of my hand." He looked genuinely stunned, like I just spoke in another language. His brows knit together in confusion, his grip loosening. I yanked my wrist free as the bell rang and marched to class. "Why is Logan Pierce staring at you?" the girl to my left whispered. I groaned. "If it weren't for you, I wouldn't even know he was staring. And for the last time, I don't know." She glared and went back to texting under the desk like she wasn't in the middle of physics. I tried not to check, but I could feel his stare burning into the back of my head. Eventually, I turned around just to shut everyone up, and there he was. Last row, corner seat, staring straight at me like he paid rent on my face. Every time I looked back, his eyes were already on mine. I held his gaze for a few seconds and lifted an eyebrow. "Like, you good?" His mouth twitched into that stupid trademark smirk I couldn't stand. I rolled my eyes and faced forward while Mr. Thompson droned on about quantum theory, looking about as excited to be alive as the rest of us. If one more person asked me why Logan was staring, I was going to lose it. Lunch wasn't any better. I even switched seats so I didn't have to look at him. We had 3 classes together, and his eyes were on me the whole time. Somehow, every time I turned around, the teacher caught me and made a comment. So now half the school probably thought I was the one obsessed. "Hey, Lily." A guy behind me leaned over. "Why does Logan keep staring at you?" I dropped my forehead onto my desk. Cool. Love my life. The second the final bell rang, I packed up like the room was on fire. I just wanted to go home, but Mr. Thompson called me over. "Lily, you're a great student. I want you in our tutoring program." I blinked. I wasn't a straight A student, and my job at Monique's Bakery already took up most of my time. "I'll think about it," I said, taking the application and fully intending to toss it later. I was heading to my locker when a hand clamped around my wrist and yanked me into an empty classroom. Whoa, I stumbled, eyes flying shut, already picturing myself face-planting. But 2 arms caught my waist and steadied me. I looked up. Of course it was Logan. The boy was basically haunting me today. He stared down at me with an intense, heated look I couldn't read. Need interest something. My stomach flipped. My whole body lit up with a stupid little tremor I did not ask for. Part of me screamed to move, to step away. This was Logan Pierce, the guy who broke my sister's heart, who treated girls like collectibles. I should leave before I became another tally mark. He didn't let me. Instead, he leaned in and kissed me. Everything in my brain short-circuited. My hands went to his neck on their own, pulling him closer like I'd been waiting for it. When we broke apart, he brushed light kisses along my jaw, my neck, my shoulder. His gaze burned into me. "Party at my house today," he said softly. "Come please." I blinked. What? He cleared his throat, cheeks actually turning pink. Logan Pierce blushing. I'd never seen that in my life. "I'm throwing a party at my house today," he rephrased. "Come. Please." Logan never said please. Ever. It was weirdly sweet. Still dazzled and breathless, I nodded. He smiled. Not a smirk, not that smug half-grin. A real smile. It hit me harder than it should have. His thumb brushed my shoulder. "I think I deserve another kiss." "Why?" My voice came out softer than I meant. "Because it's my birthday." Before I could answer, he stole another kiss, deeper and more intense than the first. When he pulled away, he checked his watch and let out a low breath. "I have to go," he said, tracing my shoulder again like he couldn't help himself. Then he kissed me quickly, smiled one last time, and ran out of the room. I stood there stunned, heart pounding like I'd sprinted a mile. When I got home, I drifted to my room like a zombie, ignoring my parents and my brother. I collapsed onto my bed, and reality finally hit me. Logan Pierce kissed me. I kissed him back. And I liked it. After about half an hour of panicking into my pillow, I called Chloe and Madison on a conference call and told them everything. There was a long silence. Then they screamed like I'd announced I was marrying royalty. They giggled, freaked out, argued over who'd be my maid of honor, and basically planned my entire future. Kids, names, everything, like lunatics. Because apparently we were meant to be. I rolled my eyes, but honestly, their chaos was kind of comforting. At 7 on the dot, they showed up with curling irons and way too much energy. They turned my straight hair into soft waves, shoved me into a strapless black dress that hugged everything, and made me wear black pumps with 4-inch heels. I went from my usual self to someone who looked like she had her life together by 9-something. When I arrived at the party, Logan was nowhere to be found. I tried not to look disappointed and focused on the music instead. I was halfway through the night when Ethan Brooks walked in. Ethan was Logan's best friend. He had a reputation too, but not as harsh. At least he treated girls like humans. He smirked. "Lily, right?" I blinked. He knew my name. I nodded. He pushed off the doorway and crossed over, stopping at a respectful distance. Then he leaned in and lowered his voice. "If you're looking for him, he's on the first-floor balcony. Last door on the left." He leaned back, winked, and walked away like he hadn't just read my mind. "Okay. What?" I finished my drink, set the bottle down and headed for the stairs. First floor, left, straight ahead until the air cooled and the breeze brushed my skin. The balcony doors were open, the curtains lifting and falling softly. I slid the curtain aside. There he was. Logan. Only he wasn't alone. He was standing near the railing, back to the party, city lights stretching out behind him. For half a second, relief washed over me, until I saw the girl beside him. She was leaning close, laughing softly at something he'd said, one manicured hand resting on his arm like it belonged there. Tall, blonde, effortless. The type of girl people expected Logan Pierce to end up with. My chest tightened. I should have turned around. I knew that. Should have slipped back into the noise, pretended I'd never come looking. But then Logan shifted, and his eyes lifted straight to me. Everything stopped. The girl was still talking, still smiling, but Logan wasn't listening anymore. His attention snapped to me like a magnet, his expression changing so fast it almost startled me. Surprise. Relief. And something else, something sharp and intent. "Lily," he said, my name cutting clean through the music drifting out from inside. The girl followed his gaze and turned to look at me, curiosity flickering across her face. "Who's that, Logan?" Logan didn't take his eyes off me. "Someone I asked to come." Her smile faltered just a little. I stood frozen in the doorway, suddenly very aware of how exposed I felt. "Sorry," I said quickly. "I didn't realize you were busy." I turned to leave, embarrassment burning hot under my skin. "Wait." Logan moved fast, stepping forward and catching my hand before I could disappear. His touch sent a jolt straight up my arm. "You're not interrupting." He glanced back at the girl. "Maya, this is Lily." Maya's eyes flicked over me again, more carefully this time. "Oh," she said. "You're the one." "The one? Great." "And this is Maya," Logan continued. "She's my cousin." I blinked. Once. Twice. "Oh," I echoed, heat flooding my cheeks for an entirely different reason. "Right. Sorry. I just..." Maya laughed light and easy. "Relax. I was just telling him my aunt is losing her mind downstairs because someone drank the wine she was saving." Logan groaned. "She labeled it." "Who labels wine at a party?" "Normal people," Maya shot back, amused. Then she looked at me again, softer this time. "I'll let you two talk. Happy birthday, idiot." She squeezed his arm and slipped past us, disappearing behind the curtain. The balcony suddenly felt too quiet. Logan turned fully toward me, his hand still loosely holding mine. "You okay?" I nodded, then shook my head. "I thought you were with someone." His brows pulled together. "No. I mean, yes, people are here. But not like that. Not tonight." "Tonight?" I asked before I could stop myself. He smiled faintly. "Tonight's different." I searched his face, looking for the familiar arrogance, the cocky ease he wore at school. It wasn't there. Instead, he looked nervous, almost uncertain. You ran off earlier, I said. I had to deal with something, he admitted. My dad. Long story. Silence settled between us, filled only by distant laughter and the hum of traffic below. Why me? I asked quietly. You could have invited anyone. He didn't answer right away. His thumb brushed over my knuckles, slow and absent. Because you don't look at me like everyone else does. I scoffed. I mostly look at you like you're a problem. That too, he said, smiling. But you don't want something from me. You don't expect anything. You don't pretend. My heart thudded painfully in my chest. You hurt my sister. His smile faded. I know. And you've hurt a lot of girls. I know that too. He met my eyes. No excuses, no deflection. I was an idiot. I thought I could do whatever I wanted, and it wouldn't matter. Tonight's me trying to be better. For real. For real? I asked. For real, he said softly. I don't expect you to trust me. I just wanted you here. I swallowed. What if I don't want to be another lesson you learn and forget? He stepped closer, just enough that I could feel his warmth. Then don't be. His hand slid to my waist, tentative this time, like he was giving me room to pull away. I didn't. Inside, the music shifted, louder now. Someone shouted his name, probably looking for him. Logan glanced toward the noise, then back at me. Stay, he said. Not a command. A request. I hesitated for one last heartbeat. Then I nodded. His smile this time was quiet, genuine. He leaned in, pressing his forehead lightly to mine. Happy birthday to me, he murmured. And for the first time all day, the thought didn't terrify me at all.